Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNET, the Great American Broadcast Network. We're GABNET, and we've got you covered live 5 nights a week. First Tuesday through Friday at 9:30 Eastern, it's The Exchange.
Let's capture, who are all these people who are watching these cooking shows? And they're stoners, right? So I'm wondering, is this a program that Netflix has absorbed? I don't know, what is the purpose of Netflix making a 14-minute show? Now, aside from those 2 interesting facts about this show, the show is fucking terrible. Do not watch this show. It fucking sucks.
Tuesday through Friday at 10 Eastern. Join Alex Bennett on the Ramble.
Say goodbye to the unions.
Renee, what was the decision? And then we'll go to Patrick.
It doesn't matter. Just say goodbye to the unions.
No. But I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you what was in the decision yesterday.
I'm going to look it up.
Okay, let me look it up.
Yeah, he'll go look it up at glennbeck.com.
Tuesday through Friday at midnight, The Intersection.
Most high school boys, what do we got on our mind? Sex and girls and sex and sex and sex.
And booze and drugs.
Yeah, the Asian guys I knew in high school, I don't know, I'm sure they thought that way, but perhaps they were more disciplined about it. Although there was this Japanese girl in high school that your old friend, the Black Avenger, had the hots for. Oh, my God. Be still my sake wanting to drink self.
If you like sports, we've got that too, with The Arena, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Well, and even if you did that, it doesnn't give you the right to grab your Uber driver's private. I mean, and like, what part of that to him sounded like a good idea?
Oh, she played a special song.
Catch up on all the shows with our weekend flashback. All shows have the Citizen Panel, an exclusive concept of GABNET. It's new, it's daring, it's talk like you've never heard it before. Spotify has 180 million monthly users and access to 35 million songs and podcasts. Now, all those offerings are going to have to move over and make room for GABNET programming. Yes, at long last, Alex Bennett's Ramble, Damian Chaplin's Exchange, Jack Bishop's The Intersection, and even the franchise MC's Arena and Michael Snyder's weekly movie reviews will be fighting for space on this massive platform. Each day, the programs are updated, so you can hear them on the Spotify app, available for all smartphones and game consoles. Or you can just go to Spotify on the web at Spotify.com. So, give us a shot on Spotify. There's a 35 million to 5 chance we'll get people to listen to talk like they've never heard it before. Reasons why you tune into GABNET. Here's reason number 9. Great celebrity guests.
So how many years is this now with Teller?
43, and that's 43 continuous. You can try to say Keith Richards and Mick Jagger go longer, but they take 3, 4, 5 years off. Even when they're together, they take the time off. Continuous, no more than 2 weeks working apart.
Wow.
Like being waterboarded for 43 years.
GABNET. Reasons to listen every day. Log on to Gabnet.net for more. GABNET. It's talk like you've never heard it before. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNET, the Great American Broadcast Network.
There we go. Hi, how are you, everybody? It's Alex Bennett. It is the Ramble, and we're here until midnight Eastern Standard Time. we're in standard time right now. So anyway, we've got a guest tonight, and I think we probably should get right to him. What do you say, gang? This is the second time we've tried this, and the first time we had a cat involved.
Sorry, we lost the cat.
Yeah, but now we got you in sync, and that's good.
But I'm in sync.
You're in sync. That's a good thing.
I think that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Will Durst, and his cat was Eloise.
Eloise was here, but she's not going to make the cut.
Now, what are the names of your other cats?
Just Madeline. Eloise and Madeline.
Okay, named after basically heroines of books.
Yes, children's books. Very good.
Yeah. Anyway, how you doing, Will?
Shitty. Life sucks. The world hates me. I'm living in a cartoon. My car is messed up, but it's 13 years old, and I think going on 14. So I think I got to get it's about time.
Are you kind of the Larry Bubbles Brown of cars?
No, I think he's still got his Fiero.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A Fiero?
I think didn't he have a Fiero?
I think he had a Fiero. Yeah.
Yeah, with a Dukakis bumper sticker on it.
Yeah. So,
but you don't even have a car.
No, I haven't had a car in so long now. I wonder if I know how to drive anymore.
Oh, you don't even rent?
I've rented, but not recently. We used to go up to Vermont, once a year. And I would rent a car and drive. But then as years have gone on, we're flying now. It's a little more. It's not. I'd like to say it's less. It's more expensive flying, but it really isn't. Here's the reason why. If you go into Hertz and you rent a car, and you say I want it for 3 days, okay, it's going to cost you about. I think it was, what was the price that I saw on it? Something like $500
for 3 days.
Maybe $600. Yeah, for 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, but if I rent it for a week, it's only $320.
Yeah.
So I've got to rent it for a week. So now we got to figure out so we fly. What the hell? It's cheaper than renting a car for 3 days.
And do you stay at a hotel? Or
no. We have some friends who have a very nice house there on the lake, I think Champlain it is. Yeah, and it's really
there
nice.
In Burlington?
It's very nice. Burlington, yeah. Near Burlington.
So you fly into Burlington.
Fly into Burlington, yeah. So anyway, so the last time I drove was about 3 years ago, maybe. And I just don't know if I know how to drive any longer. The idea of getting behind the wheel of a car feels strange to me now.
Well, once you get out of New York, driving is fairly easy. But you probably know your way around New York. You know the freeways.
Yeah.
I've never been more discombobulated as trying to drive into New York to, where was I going? JFK, I think, from Woodstock. I was in Woodstock, and I had to drive my car to JFK, and the freeway signage was not very good, so I got very confused. I think I paid the same toll 3 times.
Yeah, well, that could very well be. I don't know. I mean, when I lived in California, I had a car, and it was like I drove ever since I was like 16 years old, when you could kind of get a what do you call, a learner's permit. And I drove everywhere. I mean, I just, I got out of the car, and then I got back into the car, and if I had to go up to the pharmacy, it was 3 blocks away. You got in the car, right? So I mean, I drove everywhere, and I can't imagine that I don't know how to drive anymore, but I'm afraid of it.
No, you know how to drive.
Yeah.
You get in there. The thing is, the cars, the technology is so different. My car died, and I had an up-to-date car in 2007, 2006.
Yeah.
And I'm renting a car right now, and all the bells and whistles are incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
in a good way.
Yeah, well, yeah, but isn't it
In a creepy way?
Doesn't it have a tendency, mind you, to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of throw you off because of all this new technology in the car. You know, I mean, all of a sudden you got this big screen in front of you that's sending you information. You know, and you're distracted by that. I mean,
I don't have the overhead projection part. No, I just have the little screen on the right.
Yeah.
No, they have in deck in the windshield. They have.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah, that they used to have in jets. They have that now.
Is it my imagination? Let's say I rented a car 3 years ago, and it had some new technology, but I knew I could figure it out pretty well.
Yeah.
But in 3 years, I think it's like immensely improved, the technology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, the audio technology. I still remember when we were under the thumb of the radio guys, you know, where you had to listen what they listened to, and then the cassette came in, and then the cassette you could determine what you were listening to, and now.
Yeah, but wait a minute. You could also then the CDs came in,
and the 8-tracks, and
well, 8-track cassette CDs.
And then it was the streaming and the satellite radio, and now you with no effort whatsoever from your phone you can send to the radio, so you get all your podcasts, all your saved radio shows, or all your playlists. You can send that to your car and it will play it out. And you won't run out down your battery because there's a charger right there.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, well,
I listened to Greg Proops the other day in a rental car off my phone because I have his podcast. So
yeah,
that's what people are doing now. And I did not know this because I did not have a car that came even close.
Wow, because because what I did and have done is they always tried to rent me a GPS, right? You want a GPS for the car so you can take you where you want to go. And so I don't need that anymore.
Oh.
It's in my phone.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of I don't know, the iPhone. I can't remember which app it is, but it's the map app.
Yeah.
And you just say, I'm going here.
And the Google Maps and Apple Maps, and they're all pretty good.
And so what I do is I plug that into the car that I'm listening to the music on, my music on.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as I'm going, she'll interrupt the music and say, turn left here, turn right there. In 30 miles, you're going to have an off-ramp, whatever. Yeah. So you don't need that. So that's why the rents on cars are so high, because they can't sell you all that other shit.
Yeah, my joke is it used to be only NASA had GPS units, and now I have 2 of them, one in my car and one in my pocket.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, and I remember I was one of the first people to get a GPS unit in my car. Do you remember? Do you remember me when I had a GPS unit in the car? And what I loved about it was when somebody would say, oh, okay, so we live over the hill, blah, blah, blah. And I would say to them, no thanks, don't tell me, just give me your address. And they would say, well, why just our address? I've got a GPS, it'll take me there. And then I just put in the address and it would take me there. And I always loved to brag about that. I loved the GPS. I couldn't live without, and it was one of the first ones. I think it cost like $2,000 to put it in the car, and now you don't even put one in the car. If you don't have to buy one, you just use your iPhone.
You need a holder for your phone.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, what do you think about things political these days? Anything?
Paying attention. I don't care.
Huh?
Except for the State of the Union. State of the Union was, I thought he gave a pretty good speech.
Yeah? Why? What was good about it? Tell me.
It was rational. He wasn't, eating fire, or it wasn't blind revenge. It was, except what he said, no, you shouldn't have any partisan investigations or America will go to war. Except for that part. And also, he claimed He claimed responsibility for more women in the Congress than ever before, even though out of 127 women in Congress, 106 of them are Democrats.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even mention that. Yeah.
Would the Me Too people be mad at me if I said that?
Yeah, stop right there.
Yes. You know what I'm going to say?
No, but it doesn't matter whenever you preface a statement with, I don't mean to sound racist, but...
No, I didn't say racist, sexist.
No. You said the Me Too movement. Yeah.
Me Too,
what?
Sexist.
So, yes, they will be mad. What was it?
I was going to say Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is hot.
No, I don't think they'll be mad.
Yeah, because every time they would take a picture of all the women in Congress, the new ones, she just lit up. She just, there was like an aura, there was a halo around her, you know?
But what about her idea that Israel shouldn't exist?
No, that isn't Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
That's the.
No. Yeah, it's also Alexandria.
Oh, really?
Also, yeah.
Well,
she's a big fan of Palestine.
Yeah, I am too. So I don't care.
Okay, no problem then.
You know, yeah.
Not Judea. You're not a big fan of Judea.
I've never been a big fan of Israel. I think Israel is very warlike. I think that they never learned any lessons from being in concentration camps. You know, I don't know. I'm just bothered by it. You know.
So, what do you think about these Democrats coming out at the same time? Did you see Amy Klobuchar?
Well,
in the snow?
Yeah, but you know,
great visual though.
What?
Great visual with the snow.
Oh, really? Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
That was Minnesota. That was Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of some of these candidates? I mean, I think the Democrats haven't come up with anything interesting yet.
You know what was interesting was last night, and I didn't get to see it because I had to go out to dinner with a friend from out of town. But last night was the dueling El Paso rally.
Yeah.
With Beto and Donald. And that would have been interesting because Donald just made up these lies and said something about El Paso. And, you know, that was, you know, might have out of a story like this, he might have picked like that part right there and this part and put them together and made it that the whole story. And so Beto, whose district El Paso is, who he was talking about, he held an opposing rally, and I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, I saw that he had an opposing rally, and they didn't talk much about it. They mentioned it, which leads me to believe that he didn't get a big crowd. You know, but I don't know. I haven't. I at this point, folks, I have to go look at the news and find out for sure. But when they're not saying, look at all these people that showed up for this thing, you know, you got your New York Times there, huh?
Well, yeah, but it's intact. I haven't pulled the paper apart yet.
What do you pull out first?
Front page, New York Times. I read the front page. And then I read the editorial page. Yeah,
because in the San Francisco Chronicle on the Sunday paper, everybody used to say it's like a grapefruit. You take the pink out first. Oh, man, it's driving me crazy. You go into sync and then you go out of sync. It's really, thank you very much, Skype. Yeah. But, you know, so you felt that his State of the Union was cool. Or that he was better.
No, I didn't say it was cool. I thought it was rational.
Yeah.
It was rational. Yeah, there were a couple of overstatements. There were he took credit for shit that he had nothing to do with, and he made wildly optimistic predictions. But that's what the State of the Union is. That's what everybody does. Even Jimmy Carter did that. You know, so so that was surprising. You know, there was no American carnage or or any of that. But then he just lied throughout the entire thing, you know. But I just meant the tone was much more civil than in past years.
There's this show on Showtime called The Circus. And it deals with politics every week. And this week they dealt with the State of the Union. And it opens up with an old, grainy black and white of the State of the Union with, I think, Truman. And then he's saying the State of the Union is good, you know. And then they go to the next president, Eisenhower. The State of the Union is good, you know. And they go to the next president. The State of the Union is wonderful or whatever. And then they finally get to Trump and he goes, the State of the Union is, and then they go to shots of fighting, arguing, kids in concentration camps, you know, all these horrible things that have happened under Trump. And then they come back to him and he goes, the State of the Union is terrific, you know, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
They always say that no matter what's going on, they always say the State of the Union is good.
Well, they're president, so they're kind of responsible. So they have to reflect it as being good. Otherwise, people would say, "Well, what the hell are you doing about it?" You know, and why? What do you mean it sucks? State of the Union sucks.
Yeah. Well, but you know, I mean, I just felt that. I mean, you're right. He kind of maintained his place as the good boy the other night. He was the kid who was told by his parents, now, you know, don't make noise at the dinner table.
He used his indoor voice.
He used his indoor voice. But most of it wasn't taken up with things that, you know, most presidents are always, who are you waving at?
Yeah, say hello.
There she is.
Hello.
That's the funniest woman in America.
Yes, she is. According to Alex Bennett and Robin Williams.
That's the lovely Deborah Durst.
Hello,
yes,
Alex.
Yes. And how long have you two been married now?
37 years.
6 of the happiest years of my life.
Those 2 weeks. Yeah.
37 years.
Yeah. Do you remember at the Punchline when John Hutchinson held a benefit?
It wasn't Hutch. It was
Bob Fisher.
Bob
Fisher
held a benefit for you. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well,
to send us off to Vegas. We were dirt poor, and we decided to get married. So he held a benefit for us, and Stephen Pearl drew the poster, and everybody performed for free, and we got the money at the door and ran away to Vegas.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was 37 years ago?
Yep.
Fuck you. Quit reminding me how old I've gotten.
I know. It's weird being able to throw numbers like that around.
Oh, jeez almighty. You know, I mean, well, I guess I've known you that long.
Yes.
Yeah, you have. Good grief. And you don't look a day over 20.
Oh, yes. Shut up. Yeah.
Well, I have to go to the bank now and yell at people.
Okay. Is that that's what old people do. They go to the bank and yell at people.
Yeah. And then they give you some free tea and cookies. Just go away. Love you.
I love you too, Deborah.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Or as she's known in the business, Debbie.
Debbie Durst. Yeah. Debbie Ann Piquel Durst.
She's actually gotten more movie work than you, hasn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's. What are some of her credits?
She was in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Voice.
She was in Monkey Bone.
Yeah.
She was in Monkey Bone. What else?
Beautiful Boy.
Oh, she was in Beautiful Boy. Have you seen the one with Steve Carell?
Yeah, I saw it, but where is she in there?
She's just an extra on the street on Haight Street when he's looking for her.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll go looking for her.
Yeah. No, looking for his son. I'm sorry. Looking for his son.
No, but
she was in another movie, and I can't remember.
Yeah. Getting back to what, about his State of the Union. So he had his indoor voice on, but nevertheless, he spent most of it not saying what presidents normally do about, here's what I'd like to accomplish in the next year. Here's what, I think we should be, the direction we should be going. There was none of that. It was just either listing his own accomplishments or pointing out people in the audience who were like Holocaust survivors and,
Yeah, that poor kid, the cancer kid. Oh man, she being used as a prop by Trump.
Yeah,
it's not bad enough to have cancer. And he didn't mention kids in the cages. He didn't mention a lot of shit. He didn't mention Vladimir Putin. He didn't Maria Butina. He didn't mention Paul Manafort. Or
do you know who one congressman, and I can't remember who the congressman was, brought to the State of the Union was a Guatemalan mother and her daughter who came into this country, and they went to the speech too, but he didn't point them out and say, here's some Guatemalan kids who came over the border seeking asylum. No, it was Holocaust survivor, World War II vet, most of whom couldn't stand up, and the one who could stand up was saluting the president. It was.
Yeah.
I find that part of it kind of pathetic. I feel like I'm watching a cheap version of the Ed Sullivan Show.
I know.
And in our audience tonight, we have Shecky. So
I don't like the idea of human props.
Well, but
they all use them. I know,
and they always use them at the State of the Union address. But at least with most State of the Union addresses, they don't talk about their accomplishments as much about where we're going and where they would like the country to go. And there was none of that from him. It was all about me. Here's what we've done. Unemployment is the best it's ever been, which is a lie. A lot of lies in that speech. I think
a lot of lies, and a lot of standing ovations. A lot of lines where the Republicans would stand and the Democrats wouldn't. And,
did you like Nancy's clapping in his face though?
Yeah, what was that? Patton Oswalt called it the "fuck you" clap.
Oh, really? Was that it? Okay, yeah. Because they're replaying that one a lot,
And her relationship with Mike Pence. Mike Pence, and this is my line on stage, but Mike Pence is stiffer than Mitch McConnell wearing buttless chaps on a gay pride parade float. Mike Pence was just. And, oh man,
Pence is like a toady, isn't he?
Yeah. He's like a toady wrapped up in a Bible.
And he's always like 2 steps behind the president, everywhere, in everything. He's always in the shot.
Never interrupts. No. He's the scheming toady.
Yeah.
He's like Iago.
Do you think there's part of him that wishes Trump would die and he could become president? Or that he would get...
what would be ironic is if Trump got taken down by the whole Stormy Daniels thing, because then Mike Pence would become president because of a porn star, and the irony would melt him.
Oh, boy. Oh, son of a bitch.
So what do you got coming up?
Me?
Yeah.
Nothing. Death, I think.
Soon?
Yeah. Soon. Not soon. Not soon, hopefully. But that's, I always had something to look forward to. Hey, on Friday we're going to the movies, or on Saturday we're going to L.A. or something like that, And I was always out doing something, and now the only thing I have to look forward to is death.
Well, see, that's why you set up appointments that you go to the movies. Have you seen any plays?
We went and saw, what was it? We saw something a couple of weeks ago. Evan Hansen.
Oh, Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen, yeah. It was good. Not my kind of show exactly, but I liked it.
It was okay.
Yeah, but you're the guy. You're the guy.
Kids.
You're the guy who got the obstructed view seat of Network.
Yeah. Did you?
No.
Did you see Network?
No. It's too expensive. You can't get a ticket for it.
Get the obstructed seat. I'm telling you.
Really?
Call up the box office.
I can't remember. What was obstructing your view exactly?
The stage. I was in the front row. The stage was right here.
Really?
Yeah. And so everybody was up there. So
oh, okay.
Your neck. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
for $89.
How much? $89?
As opposed to $489 3 rows over and 3 seats in.
Yeah. So what's the weather like in San Francisco? Let's see out the window there. Let me just see. This is a daytime. Oh, that's a nice view. It's kind of overcast, right?
Yeah, it's about 53. It's gonna rain.
Yeah.
It rained and rained, and tomorrow it's gonna rain again. And then Friday I go to Mendocino for the Mendocino Film Festival. It's not the real festival; it's kind of an adjunct. And then next week I go to Reno, and next week I'm doing 142 Throckmorton, which is a great little theater that they've resuscitated in Mill Valley. And so, yeah, just working and
yeah. See. So you have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So I will live vicariously through your future.
All right. Yeah. I'll try to post more shit on Instagram.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, our old friend and comic supreme.
It's always fun.
Will Durst. Bye-bye, Will.
Thank you, buddy.
Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Hey, everybody. How are you? Welcome back. That's great. I love Will Durst. You love Will Durst, too. Get a lot of people watching whenever Will is on, so we were happy with that. Let me clear a few things here. I always am working on my desktop on one thing or another. Anyway, let me see here. Let me go get our Skype lines open here so that people can call. As you know, we have what we call a citizens panel, and people get together and they argue with each other and talk about the subjects of the day and subjects that bother them and don't bother them, and they like and don't like and whatever. So anyway, please, everybody, time to call. If you don't know how to call this program, good, easy way to remember how to do it is by just going over to gabnet.net. And over there, you'll still see the program. The video's running right now of the program. And what happens is we want you to give us a ringy ding 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 on Skype. It'll tell you how to use Skype. It'll tell you how to get Skype, how to install Skype, how to get pissed off at Skype, how to hate Skype, how to dislike it intensely, but you have to use it because that's the only thing we've got for doing what we call the citizen panels. They've got us by the balls. I think that's the best way to put it, okay? So anyway, I'm waiting for the first people to call. By the way, I'm not going to be here Friday night. It's going to be an Alex-free Friday. Jack Bishop has said he would do my slot along with his own, so he'll be pulling down 3 hours on Friday night, and I thank him for that. But I'm taking the night off because I have an unusual kind of engagement coming. What happens is I have a business manager. I've had him for years. His name is Gary Haber. Great guy. Been in my corner for as long as I can remember. I mean, years and years and years and years and years. And he called us up and he said, hey, I got an idea. I'd like to come over to your place. We're coming to New York, and I would like to come over to your place and invite people to come over to your place as well. And we'd like to have, like, dinner at your place. The only difference is you don't have to make it. We're going to cook it. So they're coming over on Friday to cook dinner for us, and pretty good deal actually. So it's going to be a dinner party and stuff, and I didn't know how late it was going to go, and I didn't want it to interrupt my festivities with them. I decided to take the night off. I think it's about time I took a night off, don't you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of having the people cook, why don't you just do what most people your age do?
What's that?
Call Meals on Wheels.
Yeah, right. By the way, you can turn up your mic a little bit, Phil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can turn it up just a little bit. Yeah, a little more.
All right, how's that?
There we go. Okay, because I'm using a new board now, and I'm glad you guys can hear me,
What'd you say?
And
well, I'm glad it's working.
Yeah, and Phil, now I could annoy you by going, "Hi, how are you?"
Oh, you got a reverb.
Yeah, I've got reverb. Right. I've got all kinds of reverb. I've got that reverb. I got this reverb. I got this reverb. Where's the one? Oh, that's kind of a nice one. Here's another. Here's another one. Yeah, that's
Wow.
Yeah, but anyway. That's the last time, folks, you'll ever hear me use it. I have no need for it, except maybe if I'm doing a spot or something, maybe I want to put a little reverb on myself. Hey, guess who's calling us? I can't believe this. Ladies and gentlemen, it says Radio Albert, so it must be Albert Reynoso.
How do you like that? This thing still works.
Yeah, but your logo is backwards.
My logo is backwards.
Yeah.
Well, I have to figure out why that is.
You can't show us video of you?
Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah. Oh, there you just got the Radio Albert turned around.
Okay.
There's a little bit of slapback from you. Oh, there we go.
Nothing ever works right. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. Look at him. What?
How are you guys?
Oh, we're fine. And yourself?
I guess I'm okay. Skype has changed quite a bit since I've last been.
Yes.
Just about 5 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, it sucks now.
It sucks?
Yeah, however, I'm not using the new Skype. I'm using the old Skype, which they don't want you to do, and they prevent you from doing, but there's one version that goes back to like 2017 that they somehow haven't been able to stop from working. So
the one I'm using doesn't work? Is that what you're saying?
No, the one you're using is the new fucked up version of Skype.
Oh. What are the other guys using?
The new
I'm using the fucked up Skype.
I'm using a new one too, but I don't like it.
Yeah. See.
Why are you still doing baseball coaching?
Well, I'm not really umpiring anymore. I'm on the board now. I'm training umpires.
Oh, good for you. How's your health, Charlie?
It's okay now. I had a couple of rough years there, but
all right. You both look good. You both look very good.
Yeah, look.
Phil's still a troublemaker?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Since you just came on, Albert, we've gained a lot of people watching us. See how popular you are?
Well, let me tell you something. I was coming on to say hello to Chaplin.
Yeah.
But he wasn't on. Where is he today? I thought he's on Tuesday through Friday.
He is normally. What happened was his equipment, his computer, completely blew up on him over the weekend.
Well, that explains why I'm not talking to him.
So he has to rebuild his computer, and that's going to take a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I keep because I checked in with you, and I checked in personally with you a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
But I said, let me see what's going on with Damien. So the one day I check in with Damien, he's not there.
He's not there.
Great.
Yeah, he's not there.
That's good. Well, it was nice to hear Durst just now.
Oh, yeah.
And before that, I was pleased to hear a replay, maybe of yesterday's show or Friday's show, where it seems nothing has changed. You weren't feeling well, and you didn't know whether you can get through the show.
Yeah,
and who's going to call.
Yeah.
So it's still the same old thing.
It's the same old thing.
You're talking about people who've been kicked off the show again. So everything's still the same.
People get kicked off the show. Yeah, I like your little setup there. You're using, what are you using? OBS?
Yeah. I've been screwing around with this thing, just trying to put it together. I got a new desk, like a gaming station. So I figured I'm going to see what I can do with this. Yeah. And test it out and give you guys a call and see who's on there. Now, where is Rin? Where are all the other people?
Rin is Damien's friend. Rin does a Damien show. Never calls mine, which I don't mind. You know, I like everybody to have their own people that are exclusive to them. You know.
So when Damien took my slot, he took everything because Rin was always on my thing too.
Yeah, he got it. He got it all included. Yes. Absolutely.
The warehouse sale. Take it all.
Yeah, take it all. Well, actually, it wasn't. After it was your show, it was
Rob's.
Was it Rob's?
Yeah, I think Rob was on.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
and then did Revelstoke Jim do it after that, or did he do it before Rob started doing it?
For a short period of time, he did it after after Albert.
Okay, so then it was Revelstoke Jim for like a half hour or something like that. And then he gave it up to Rob, and Rob did it. But Rob would really rather play music, so since we don't have music licensed here, it didn't work too well for him. And I thought he was really good at what he was doing, too.
It was great.
In fact, if you want to hear those or you want to hear old Albert shows, just go to our Roku channel, and there's a whole channel of old shows by Albert and by Revelstoke Jim and by and Rob's show and whatever.
Have you put in the paperwork for the Museum of Podcasting yet? So that we can get some awards or lifetime recognition.
You want to know what happened? Nothing? You want to know what happened? There's this thing called new thing they've got called the Podcast Journal or something. I can't remember what it's called now, and it's a daily, blog sheet, whatever, about podcasting, right? All things podcasting. So somebody wrote when they started it up, and so podcasting started in 1993. In 2003, right? With so-and-so who did blah, blah, blah. And I wrote the guy and I said, bullshit. I was doing the first podcast back in 2008. Oh, excuse me, 1998. Okay, or 99, I can't remember which. And I said, we invented the whole concept of a program is automatically downloaded to your computer. And I used to do a show every day. And you
invented the phrase, get off my lawn.
That too, but that's another story. But the point is that I wrote him about this, and I said, look, I can even send you a copy of the program. It was called Auto Alex, in which, I did the show. Then if you wanted it, you simply installed Auto Alex on your computer, and it would go down once a day and see if there was a new show and download it to your computer. And I said, so actually, that was the first podcast. And the guy wrote me back and went, well, yeah, so. Yeah, well, then fuck you. I mean, if you don't want to be educated and you don't want to give somebody their just desserts, for having come up with a concept.
And you were arguing with this 14-year-old when?
No, he wasn't a 14-year-old. He's some adult who's got no life,
Yeah, well, same thing.
Like me, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, like all of us.
Yeah, like all of us.
Yeah, yeah. Oh boy. Okay, here comes Vernon Nunn. Ooh, Vernon. Hello, Vernon. Are you there?
By the way, I'm not sticking around that long because it's almost bedtime.
Wait a minute. Are you implying that you have a life? Is that what you're implying? You don't want to hang around with a bunch of losers like us?
No, I like to hang around on my own as a loser.
Oh, I see, and have your own group of losers. There's Vernon.
No, just me. There's no.
By the way, you know how I said earlier that each of us have our own kind of some people who are unique to us. I mean, for the most part, Phil only calls this show. He does call Jack occasionally when he feels like.
He called Damien occasionally.
He called Damien occasionally, but basically, you're kind of my caller. All right.
Yeah. If they don't have any other callers, I don't want them to suffer. So I'll tune in for a few minutes, and if I hear that, they're.
But basically, you're my show's guy. Okay.
Yeah.
As is for the most part Josh Wheeler here, or Vernon Nunn. All right. But I mentioned that like Rin is like Damien's caller, right? Exclusive to that show. And Jack had one who was exclusive to him in Mike Allen. And all of a sudden, Mike Allen has disappeared. Now, Vernon has been trying to track him down, right, Vernon?
Well, I've got some information, but Phil has done more than I have.
Well, what I was going to say is you were trying, but you couldn't. You were trying phone numbers that didn't work. You were trying email addresses that didn't go anywhere.
He came up with a great idea, which was the fact that Mike Allen was a ham radio operator, and so was Vernon. And Vernon checked the ham radio database and found his address. And all I did was go on Spokio.
Okay, so then you went on.
I went to a paid web search.
This is becoming a detective drama here.
Well, yeah, it's easier when I was using the police computer, but I went onto a paid web search, and I did a reverse directory lookup on the address to get some phone numbers. When the phone numbers didn't pan out, I did get an email address that didn't bounce, and but when the phone numbers didn't pan out, I just called the Sacramento Police Department and I asked them to do a welfare check. Nothing that I haven't done in the past for people. Mm-hmm. And they went by. They called me. They said no one was there. No one answered the door. And so I told them to leave a note on the door.
Yeah, but they also said they talked. But the best part, interesting part, is they talked to the neighbors.
Yeah, and Mike must not have too good a relationship with his neighbors because they said, well, he went to the hospital. And that's all they knew. What hospital? They didn't know. They didn't care. He went to the hospital. And so now his cell phone is off.
Yeah, we know he's gone to the hospital.
Right.
We know that. All right?
Yeah. We don't know what hospital.
We don't know what hospital or why or if he's still alive or not.
So supposedly he lives with his mother. And there were 7 people that according to the internet, that were living in this house, a 2-bedroom house. So, I would be surprised if the other people weren't there and just not answering the door. But if you've talked to Mike in the past,
I saw somebody wrote me, and I can't remember who, and I was looking to see where was it? Was it a YouTube comment or whatever? Somebody found the phone number, called the number, asked for Mike Allen, and they hung up on him.
That was Ray. Ray spoke with a sister-in-law that he found off of Facebook. Mm-hmm. And the sister-in-law, I guess they didn't have a very good relationship and didn't really want to talk to him. So I have a feeling that we're probably going to get a news report pretty soon that all the other bodies will be discovered in the house.
I hate to say this, but I'm kind of going along with the idea that he's probably dead.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he went to the hospital.
And if he isn't, he wants to be. So,
What do you think of this, Radio Albert?
I'm flummoxed here because I don't even know who the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. But remember the other day on the
mentioning what the hell you're talking about in radio.
Do you remember you remember the other day you listened to the show and I said I'd banned this guy from the show, some guy from the show.
No, it was Doug.
It was Doug. It was Doug.
Oh, okay. And Mike.
And Mike. Mike was the other one.
Mike. Okay.
And it was basically because I wanted any excuse not to have him on the show because his voice drove me crazy.
Mike had that gravelly voice and he used to talk to everybody like this. And then,
He does a good Mike Allen, but the guy smoked so many cigarettes that you could smell it through your monitor.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here is my question, because I don't think the metrics are going to get any better than talking about this guy, Mike Allen. Is this the way it usually is?
Are you saying that? Are you saying this show has nothing important to say?
No, I liked hearing Durst and his wife. That was nice.
Yeah, but double Durst.
Yeah, but let's get something going here.
Come on! You're my former.
Where's Marjorie?
She's asleep. You kidding me?
Hey, you got to take my word.
You guys got ESPN. If you got ESPN, you're watching the Louisville Cardinals beat up on Duke by 20 points.
Really?
Oh, well, I don't have the TV on right now.
See?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, after Alex paid a hitman to knock Marjorie down and break her knee.
Did she break her knee?
Yes. Didn't I tell you this?
I didn't know that.
When I talked to you last.
She had knee problems. I didn't know she broke her knee.
I talked to you.
3 months.
I thought I talked to you just about a month ago or a month and a half ago.
It's the Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve.
Oh, well, this happened, I think, in November.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know she broke her knee.
What happened was walking down Fifth Avenue, and some tourist who's looking up at the buildings or something bumps into her, knocks her to the ground, and she breaks her knee. The cat even minds that.
Yeah. She's been in a cast for, 16 weeks now?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, She's in a cast when she's out of the house, but she doesn't have to be in it when she's in the house. She can walk around without it and so on. But it's kind of like they still
more
want
of a brace, though, isn't it?
It's more of a brace.
Isn't it more of a brace?
Yeah, but I don't know. Do they do casts anymore, or are braces the order of the day when you break a leg or do something like that?
I guess it depends on the break.
Yeah,
you know, anyway, all they wanted to do was immobilize it.
So she really it was pretty bad. She was in a lot of pain. A lot of pain.
Please wish her a speedy recovery for Linda and myself.
I'll tell her you don't care.
She's got to. Well, you can do what you want. So it's recorded here, so
it's for the
leg to stand on. Just
she's probably listening to this right now.
Or Marjorie.
She listens to the show every day, so just wish her your best.
By the way, Josh, good to hear from you again. It's the same thing. You chime in just when you have some critical information. Is that right?
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Good. Good. Very good. It's good to see you.
When he contributes, it's very good.
Yes, I know. I remember that. It's always good.
He's the
he have four big faces and Charlie's a little circle. What kind of Skype is that?
That's the new Skype.
That's the new Skype. What you can do is double click on Charlie and he will become larger. Okay.
Or you drag Charlie down into one of the other squares.
Yeah.
You click on it, drag.
Okay.
You can only display 4 in the big screen. Yeah.
We got a little. We got
technology we've gained in 2 years since I've been gone.
It's worse.
Oh my goodness.
It's about the same as it's always been.
Hey, there's Tony Manga.
Yeah, but Tony has some sad news for us, right, Tony? Yeah.
This is Alex's obituary show. At this point,
no, it's not. We don't know if Mike Allen is dead yet. But tell him, Tony.
Yeah, it was so fast, Alex. What happened was, my dad had a problem with his kidneys. I say about 8 months ago, and we took him to the hospital, and they got the kidney levels down, and they wanted to watch because the doctor were going to put him on dialysis, but they decided not to. Okay. So then it had to be about 3 weeks ago, and he looked like he had like a flu bug, and he lost his appetite. So my sister says, let's take him to New York Presbyterian right away. And he didn't
taken him to the Jewish hospital.
And, well, anyway, so we took him out, right? He looked weak to me. I thought he had a flu bug. So we didn't know. So we took him in. His kidney levels were high again, and he's diabetic. And pretty much they were running all these tests. They couldn't really find, like for cancer, they couldn't find anything. Then his stomach was filling up with fluid, so they tapped it, and when they tapped it, they biopsied it, so they knew it was cancerous. So they don't know exactly where it's coming from, and they think it was probably with the pancreas. So it just came, Alex, within 2 weeks. We got him home on hospice. He lasted a week. He was gone in 3 weeks. My mother was, I don't want to make a joke of it, but my mother was going crazy when he was home because when he was really sick at the end, we wanted him to pass. She made me go in the bedroom to get the crucifix to put it on the bed. I mean, come on. He says, what are you trying to kill me? He says, I'm already dying here. But all joking aside,
I'm glad you've got a smile on your face telling this story.
I did, because my father was making me laugh. You would have got along with my dad, because you know what he said? He did tell me this, Alex. He says, don't cry, because I'm crying like a baby. He says, just remember me, you got to laugh at life and be good to people.
Good
advice.
A
full life, he said.
Good advice.
Sorry for it, Tony.
Huh? Thank you very much, Albert.
Tony, didn't you learn your lesson when your aunt died and you on Alex's show when he started making fun of her?
No, I didn't. Wait a minute, Albert. I did not make fun of her.
You did.
What I said was it was something.
You said you didn't like her.
No, something I got from Penn Jillette. When people say something like that, like when they say that my girlfriend broke up with me, the first thing you should say is, I never liked her anyway. Because nobody wants you to say, you lost your girlfriend? She was so terrific. Nobody wants to hear that, you know. So I took a clue from Penn, but it was just in the wrong situation. And Tony called up and said his aunt had just died. And I said, well, I never liked her anyway. And he started crying. And
I'm not going to cry because I kind of cried a little bit.
You don't want a caller to cry. You really look bad. Yes.
But you know, this is weird. No, what happened is it was Saturday. It was last Saturday. No, it was the Saturday before, and he says, "We call for the priest." My father even wanted a rabbi just to cover all the bases. We figured.
You just figured.
So
yeah.
you never know. I mean, so I says, "Dad, we got the priest coming over." He says, "All right." So we're all sitting in the living room, and I forgot to take the phone off the hook. So when he's doing that last speech, the phone started ringing. So my father goes, "That might be God for me. Tell him I'm not ready yet."
Oh, good man.
Your father had a great sense.
He had a joke.
He had a great sense of humor. I mean, you know, I don't know how you feel about it. When my father went, I felt
How would you take it, Alex?
I felt really bad, and the first thought in my mind was, why didn't my mother go instead of him?
Oh,
yeah,
she's driving me crazy already, Alex. I'm sleeping upstairs now every night.
Really?
Yeah, because she's afraid to be by herself.
If I had Tony,
Yeah.
if I had wallpaper like that, I'd be afraid to sleep by
Yeah,
myself.
that is hideous wallpaper.
I know, Albert. She hasn't changed this. She just go to the bank and look in the safety deposit box because Dad might have jewelry in there. And we went. It says, yeah, there was just like my grandmother's old photos. He didn't really have anything. So we just took it out of there. I thought I was going to find some money. I said, oh, Dad, I'm going to get lucky.
Albert, am I handling this all right?
I'm doing
but tell him to square up his camera a little bit. This goes to the YouTube. Doesn't
I
it?
was crying bad before because you know why, Alex? Because I'm thinking of all the times he would make me laugh.
Move your head a little more into the center of the frame. There, Tony. I think that's what's bothering you. No, you move the camera. You move the camera.
Are you on a laptop?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, well, just move the laptop thing. Yeah,
Like
there
that.
you go. There you go. Is that better? Is that better,
She's
Albert?
doing good. She's doing good, my mom. We buried him in St. John's over here. And
Boy, you buried him fast.
yeah, you know what? My dad says, get me out. One day he said, because we had to live in
That's what
Wakefield.
the Jews do. That's what the Jews do.
That's what my father wanted to do. I told my dad, if I go, I says, get me out of here.
It's one day for the Muslims, 2 days for the Jews.
We did one, Alex. That's what he wanted. He says, how many days? Because he was going. He says, one day.
Do you want to hear a story?
Everybody come to the house.
I'll tell you a story. Yeah, Albert, you remember Christy Andrade, who was my, now she's got another name, Christy Whitmore, who was my producer in San Francisco. I may have introduced you to her at one time or another.
Yeah.
Well, when I think an aunt or somebody died, they loved her. They just felt so bad about her dying. It was in the middle of a funeral strike. And her body stayed on ice for 3 months. It was driving them nuts.
When my father died, it was Passover, and they had to wait an extra day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could, what you could have done was you could have left him out on the porch, and maybe Elijah would have taken him.
Yeah, really. He only takes the
My mother
wine.
was crying before.
Huh?
What are your wishes, Alex?
What?
What are your wishes? What happens to you?
Yeah.
To me?
I know you don't like to consider that you're ever going to die, but should that happen at some point?
Alex likes taxidermy.
Well, I have no choice in the matter. If I go before Marjorie,
freeze 'em like
if
Ted Williams.
I go before Marjorie, she's going to cremate me, which it's not really what I want to do. I want to do something where I'm still annoying people. So I want to. I think taxidermy is in the cards for me. Yeah.
We can freeze you next week and then bring it back in 10, 20
like
years.
Walt Disney.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like Disney. Yeah.
Save that.
Yeah.
No, you just cut the head off and freeze the head.
Is that what you do?
Well, I think that's what they did.
I think that's what they do now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what scam artists do. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I need a different body.
Really?
Yeah.
They'll have a robot body to put your head on in the future.
Yeah, and then we can just animate you.
See, what they do is when they take the head off of one guy, they give the body to somebody else. So, when
Look at the picture on your screen. Who wants that body?
Nobody wants. Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I don't want my own.
No, I don't.
Put him on Arnold Schwarzenegger's body.
My body's not in.
Listen, it's been fun, but I gotta go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to check it more often.
Take care.
Wait. What did you say? Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. What did you say, Albert?
I said I have to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to check in more often.
Would you please?
We in properly.
We enjoy having you here.
And thank you for your well wishes.
And again, if you want your show back, you can have it.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see.
We got lots of time slots available. There's one like at 10 in the morning. I think we have one at 1 in the afternoon. I think we have one.
Forget it. I'm not doing any of that. That's not happening. It would be nighttime. But nobody's noticed that I've shaved my mustache. What's wrong with you people?
I noticed something. Yeah.
Well, because I don't notice those things because your facial hair is always changing.
No, my facial hair never. If I don't shave, it grows. But usually I had the mustache.
Actually, you look very youthful without it.
Oh well, thank you very much.
Kevin can spare some of his for you if you want it back. You know.
What's that?
What?
The beard and the mustache. Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Right. Okay.
Yeah. White. Yeah. A little white to go with it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Kevin, mine's whiter than yours when it grows in.
What are you guys, supremacists?
No, I mean here's the thing. Here's the thing. What is Kevin's big job every year?
Santa Claus.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
Either that and the rest of the year he plays a Muslim zealot. So.
On that note,
I painted black.
We'll say a good night to all.
Au revoir. Goodbye, Albert. Call us more, will you?
And what's that?
Call us more. There were a lot of people listening to you. They liked hearing from you.
When you let me know that Marjorie's going to be on, or did I give away her name by mistake?
But I call her Marjorie too.
Okay.
Yeah.
When girlfriend is on, I'll try to stop by.
Usually Fridays, first half hour.
Also, this website, it doesn't tell me when things are going on today. You have to tell me, because I thought Damien was on. You got to put the updates. This is a business now where people have to know. They got to have the listings.
Well, I used to put up a note. Maybe I'll put up a note saying Damien is not on this week because of technical problems. All right.
Well, let's not make that a maybe.
Either that or I just said it, and everybody should tell everybody else.
And you were a little late coming on too, weren't you?
No. 4
minutes, I think.
No,
Albert, this could be one of your producer duties.
I just tried to jump in and.
I always run 5 minutes worth of promos before I go on. That's what you probably mistook for.
Maybe that's it. I don't know anything about radio or podcasting.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
Oh. Well, you guys have fun tonight, and I will see you in whenever I jump.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best producer I ever had. Right there.
I thought I was the best producer you ever had.
Yeah. No, really. What? Phil was my first producer in San Francisco.
Really? Oh, Vernon, all you guys have a good night.
Okay.
And I will see you in the next time.
Okay. Bye, Albert.
Quickies.
Quickies.
I was your producer other than Susan when Susan couldn't do it or something, and you were going to go on vacation and you needed me to help the other jocks that were taking over your show for the vacation. I helped you for a few weeks.
Yeah. Was Susan my producer?
Yeah, she used. Well, your producer. We answered the phones, and I pulled the carts and pulled the music based on the chart. But basically, it was answering the phones and just giving you a finger as to which line to take.
Yeah, and I pulled whatever. So, anyways, it's good to hear. Good to hear from Albert. Now all the audience is going away. See, he does do pretty good. So anyway, I have all the equipment now installed, and it seems to all be working okay.
My equipment's installed, but it doesn't work.
Oh, well, but part of your equipment was taken away from you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The only thing that was a problem is I was using an encoder. This company that makes Nicecast, which is the encoder I've been using, came out with a new one and said we're not supporting Nicecast anymore. So I started using the new one, and then I'm listening to it through the earphones the other day, and I hear this kind of phasing, whooshy kind of sound. You probably couldn't tell it if you hear it just on your little computer speaker, but if you listen to it very closely, it's there, and it's not there when I use Nicecast. So I wrote these people, and I said, you got a problem here. It's something that a technician who's building a program would never hear, because that's not what they're listening for, And so I had to go back to Nicecast, which is fine with me. I'll use it till I can't use it no mo, and maybe they'll fix that other one, the other program.
Well, the new board sounds nice.
The new board's fine. Yeah, it's really clean, and there were a lot of ticks and pops and things that I had on the other one, and all the the sliders are very clean and don't break up or anything like that. So it's okay. I have to get used to it. There's things I don't understand how it works. Like I have a graphic equalizer here, but I can't figure out how I make it work. I just don't know why it's sitting there. Anytime I move stuff, it doesn't change anything.
You might have to push a button that allows the graphic equalizer to work, because what you may be doing is, depending on which on the input, there are on my thing there are all sorts of other choices. So you can look at an equalizer. You could change your pots to be other stuff. Just on the fly. So it's a graphic equalizer when you push this button. It's showing you your output when it's that button.
I don't know. But anyway. And then, of course, I've got, the Echo. So
I tell you, you're going to love that thing.
No, why? I don't have any use for it. It's got like 15 echoes, and that's all why doesn't it have other stuff?
Well, when you want to have a certain sound, you press the. It probably does have other stuff. Probably allows you to put other stuff in.
I guess I would imagine. I don't know, but anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. It's working okay, and you guys are sounding good, and I'm sounding good on your end, right? So
yeah,
that's all that matters. Yes, Vernon. So anyway, so between Phil. And I used to know a guy named Russ Meyer. Yes, he was a filmmaker. Phil Meyer and Vernon Nunn, the two of them did a little detective work. And who knows? I mean, I sent all this information to Jack. And Jack, he's at a loss for what has happened. Because this was a guy who regularly called every night. And if he somehow was in some kind of problem where he couldn't call a lot, he would write or do something, But here it's like something that incapacitated him, and we think the worst. How can you not think that? Unless he's in a coma somewhere.
You think he's dead?
If he is,
but that never prevented it. That never prevented him from calling before. Thank you very much. That was a joke.
Is that the guy Mike who used to have a smoked a lot or no?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if he did something happen to him.
Listen, the guy I heard on Jack's show should have been dead years ago. I mean, that was a accident waiting to happen. So
yeah.
I wonder if he is okay.
Yeah. By the way,
I don't think so.
What?
I mean, we I had note left on his door by the police department. It's I looked at his house on. Google, where you can
you did the Google
street view. Yeah, well, and the neighbors weren't all that close. There was land around it, but he's been there for a while.
Ray Renati has now changed his moniker, his way of writing his name on screen, so you all know as RR.
Hey,
which is would be a great pirate name.
I did? No, are you talking about me?
Yes, yeah.
No, it's because, Alex, the classic Skype that we had been using doesn't work anymore, and I had to go back 2 more versions.
Oh.
So that might happen to you soon.
What are
you on? I'm on 7. I had to go back to 7.36.
No, that's what I'm using.
Oh, okay, I had been using the one after that.
See, Ray lives in Palo Alto, and what he didn't tell you is because he got rid of his Volkswagen, he bought a Rolls Royce, and now he's RR.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Does it say RR?
Yeah.
By the way, so you were using another one. Now you're using the 7.36.
Yeah, I was using 7.
That's the one.
4001.
A 7 what?
7. I was using 7.401.
No, 7.36 dot something. I think.
Yeah,
dot
that's
1
what I have now. Yeah.
Is
4, 5,
is the
6,
one that
8,
for some
7,
reason
9.
they're not able to. They haven't been able to block.
Not yet. They'll figure it out eventually.
Well, maybe they will, and maybe they won't. Maybe they just don't at this
Did
point.
They block your last one that was classic, Ray?
Yeah. It was the version after this.
Yeah, they say you can't go on unless you update it to the new stuff.
It worked great until just today. And that's what I've been spending the last half hour. And they tried to stop me in so many ways. So I had to get Revo uninstaller to get every single last thing out of my registry so they didn't, because they're putting something in there.
Yeah,
they know people are doing it.
7.36, I think it's .1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Is the one. And I have it here on my desktop.
It's 7.36.0.101.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I use, and I have it on my desktop, the setup, in case, because what it doesn't do is on my Windows, it doesn't put an icon up anywhere. So I had to take it and pin it to pin it to the thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So
it doesn't, does it? Yeah.
No, it you don't have an icon, right?
No.
I'd have
an icon. No, I'll just make my own. Yeah.
Yeah. Just what you do is just pin it to the thing and bar, and no matter what happens, it will always be there, even if you sign off of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
when you said the Skype lines were open tonight, I pushed the Skype button, and it made me sign in. I don't know why. Maybe I turned off the computer to do something else.
You might have had to sign in. It might have been just off. When mine goes off, it makes me sign in again.
That meant I had to remember my Skype thing and my Skype, what do you call it, ID and my Skype code. I didn't remember it, so I had to try all the usual suspects.
So, as you know, I have nothing exciting to ever talk about because I don't do anything really exciting except we had our television set, my 3D TV, the good one. Not the good one, the old one. I have 2 3D TVs. The other one's still working. And I love 3D, and once that goes, I'm going to go apoplectic, right? But the other one in the living room died. So we went out and bought a new TV set. And what we bought was this standby TCL. Have you heard of TCL?
No.
Yeah. Is that like Praise the Lord?
No.
Network?
No. Bought a TCL, and the reason I bought it, there were 2 reasons I bought it. Number one, it's got Roku built into it. It's a Roku TV set, basically.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have to buy a new Roku if I go to 4K. So I went to 4K with this thing, and I wondered what kind of a TV set would I be getting, because it was only at Costco $365 for a 55-inch 4K HDR.
I've actually heard good write-ups on them.
Actually, it's not bad. It's not as good a picture as my Samsung. Samsung does a great picture, and my LG's great picture too. This one has a great picture on its own. It's fine. Yeah. Plus, I get the Roku with it, so I don't even have to spend the $79 to get the 4K Roku. So the guy tonight, I called a guy, and for $79, he pulled down my old one and hung the new one. And it's up there and it's working, and it's fine. Really? So that's my excitement, folks.
So your TV is well hung. Huh?
Yeah, my TV is well hung. Yeah. I like things that are well hung. Right. Yeah. So anyway,
Best Buy has it for $369.99.
Really? Okay. Well,
Ellen gives them away on her show.
I got it for I think I got it for the same amount. Yeah.
God, it's so cheap.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I mean, look, why? Okay. Let's say this thing sucks and it breaks in a year. What did I spend on it?
Exactly.
I got a Vizio there too.
Alex. With this thing, I could
100 lattes.
100 lattes. Yeah, 100 lattes. Yeah. That's it.
I have a Vizio in the bedroom. I don't like
That's what I do too. I bought a Vizio bed. Boy, Alex bought his too.
Well, I bought a Samsung in the guest room, and girlfriend has discovered it because the other one broke, so she had to go in there in the morning and watch TV in there, and she goes, "That's the best set we have." I said, "No shit."
I have a Samsung. How long we had that Samsung? Like 10, 15 years. Like a big screen, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
I had a Samsung and it went out, and I bought it at Costco. So I brought it back. They gave me all the money for it, and I didn't want to get another Samsung because it went out after like 2.5 years. So I bought a Sharp, Not only did I get a 5-year warranty with it, I got $800 back.
Phil,
And a bigger
our
TV.
Phil, our Samsung went out at 2 years too because there was a flaw in the fuses, and you had to have someone come in. This guy came in for free, took the TV down off the wall, put the fuses in, put it back up on the wall, mounted it. He was gone in 15 minutes. It was like nothing happened. It's worked perfectly.
Well, I'm not throwing my old set away because it may well be something like a fuse. How do you know when a fuse goes?
Well, there was some. Well, because they gave us all an email or something. It was like if you bought that.
I didn't get the email, but I went online and there was a forum, and a lot of people were having the same problem. They didn't say it was a fuse; they said it was some other part.
No, it wasn't a fuse, a capacitor.
Yeah, I think that.
And what does that look like? Because
it's like a little like one of those little diodes.
No. But I mean,
no, it just stopped working.
And it stopped working, but they just had to take it out, put a new one in, and they put it.
She said the picture went all green and then nothing.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Really? So maybe I can get this thing fixed easily.
That's what it is, it's a no-brainer. There's people who do it, and I think they do it for free still.
Really? Well, this happens to be an LG. By the way, Sharp is now making TV sets with the Roku built in. You know, which is great because you can get GabNet and GabNet TV.
Oh, my Roku is telling me that I can put a chip in it or a memory card.
Oh, that's a memory
so
card.
I don't have to download stuff.
Yeah, you just go get a little chip and put it in there. I don't know why they don't just put more memory in those things. I guess they figure they have to raise the price by $10, $15, and they don't want to do that.
I looked on the thing. I have some of those little micro SD cards.
Yeah.
For my
GoPro. If it'll fit in
I couldn't find where you put it.
There's a little slot. It's I think right under the ISDN, the Ethernet import. There may be a little slot.
I'll
look and see. But anyway,
this version of Skype is the best.
He's pretty cool, yeah.
This old version. I mean,
and it gets all the names of everybody and stuff like that.
You don't have to put your thing over to see the name. They're all there.
Yeah.
You can add people to contacts right from their picture.
It seems as though the people at Microsoft kept saying having brainstorming meetings, and the brainstorming went something like this: what can we do to fuck Skype up more? Hey, let's take away all those names under the pictures. Okay? I mean, this particular version is gold.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And those stupid circle things were driving me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just thought it was like that game show. Circle gets the square.
No, but you can imagine the engineers at Microsoft jerking off, saying, "We've got them in circles now. You know, we got them in circles." It's terrible. It's disgusting, and they won't listen to anybody. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of chatter on their forums about how bad this latest version is of Skype and how they wish they'd allow them to go back to Classic and use that if you want to. There's no reason why you can't. I'm doing it right now.
Can you get more people on the screen if they're all circles? I mean, are you?
I have no idea.
Screen space.
I have no idea, but
I don't think that.
To begin with, I tried it, as you may remember, for one night, and I could not figure out. Here, what happens is, folks, when somebody calls me, it says add to group, and I just click on add to group, right? And they come right onto the group. There is no way to do that in the new Skype. You have to have everybody ready to go or something. I don't know, or call them back. I couldn't figure it out to save my life, and I'm sorry. I'm not an idiot. But this version of Skype is really pretty much a no-brainer, you know? And the new one is not user-friendly at all. You can't figure out anything about it.
How much you want to bet that they're going to sell the old version of Skype? If you want the old version, it costs $9.95.
I'll pay for it. I'll pay $100 for it if you want to add a few features, you know. But I don't want the new Skype. The new Skype sucks.
It totally sucks. I have a friend who was in middle management at Microsoft, and she says it's just chaos over there. Like, no, everyone just does what they want. Departments don't talk to one another. It's just a mess. And it's because they just rely on, their Xboxes and Windows. And the rest of it's just all just playtime for everyone.
If I remember...
Did Paul Allen die?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe they just lost direction,
No, this was while he was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, but you know what? If I remember correctly, remember how Skype started?
Yeah, it was independent program.
Yeah, but do you remember how it started? By who?
Was it Microsoft?
The guys who I think the guys who started Napster, I believe. Either that
Weren't
or
they in Norway.
The guy who started Napster went to work for owns Facebook.
No.
Zuckerberg?
No, Zuckerberg.
No, the other guy.
Right.
The guy who started Napster. He's a major guy early Facebook.
Yeah, but I can't remember, but somebody it was like Napster or something, and they sold it or they got rid of it, and they moved on, and they started. Their idea was, well, we fucked up the record business. Let's go fuck up the phone company, and that's why they started Skype, and they got Skype going. A lot of people love Skype. It was a great VoIP with video. And
his name was Nicholas Zenstrom. And Jonas Fries.
What? Who started Skype?
Who's the guy that started Napster? That wasn't them.
I don't know.
Well, they started. Those were the guys who started Skype, right?
Yeah.
And where does it say they came from?
It Janus Fries from Denmark.
Yeah, and it must say somewhere where. Well, that could be the Napster.
Napster was Sean Parker, John Fanning, and Sean Fanning. Oh, that's the Facebook guy.
Yeah.
Fanning guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay,
And
but wait a
so
minute. Hold on a second. Now, in the thing on Skype, they came from somewhere. They had done something before that. Did it say?
Oh, let me see. Oh, yeah, the Skype guys?
Yeah.
Sweden and Denmark.
Let's see. Yeah, I know they were from Denmark. Let's see.
Skype software created by historians.
Started as a telecom. Let's see. He was at Kazaa.
That was it.
Kazaa.
Okay, and Kazaa was forced out of business because it was a torrent, basically a torrent.
And it also put all kinds of spam and what do you call them? Viruses on your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, they stopped
like
Kazaa. They stopped Kazaa and they went and started Skype. And then after a while, Microsoft, I think somebody else bought them up, and then Microsoft bought it. And Microsoft has ruined it, literally ruined it. And I know all those people over there who were jerking off at their program with the circles is just saying, no, you're nuts. This is great. This is the best thing ever. We
like our circles.
Yeah, we love, and we're going to have a circle jerk later on.
Yeah, that's how they thought of it.
Yeah.
It's like a tribute to their circle.
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And elephants are usually Republicans, and usually
in the room?
it's Donald.
Bill, where's your trunk?
It's Donald Trump, who today, among other things, said that he believes that what we should do for the 4th of July is have a military parade in Washington, D.C.
He's been talking about
Well,
that.
wait a minute.
Since the one in
isn't that
France.
wonderful? Isn't it wonderful that he talked about it? Do you know that there already is a military parade in Washington on the 4th of July?
Hey, he's getting a 2-4.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't know that.
He won't be playing golf then.
Yeah. And he also has been going around spreading a major lie that we have been building the wall.
Yeah, what is that?
And news people and reporters and so on have gone out and said that since he's been president, not 1 inch of a wall has been built.
Probably fake news.
Yes, on his part. On his part.
I thought they didn't get the money.
No, he's saying, and now here's the best part. Wait a minute. Here's the best part. He had this rally yesterday in El Paso,
I watched that fucking thing. My God.
Yeah.
I tortured myself through that whole day.
Yeah, and what? And wait a minute. What was the big slogan for them to start?
The cameras never show the crowd.
Because there was only that crowd behind him, and that's it.
People there.
No, they said it was a big crowd. It was, and there was many people outside. And they said that
they
Beto
shipped them all in.
didn't have very many people at his.
Because
who said that?
They said that all the locals went to O'Rourke's, and then all the other people were shipped in.
So only the illegal aliens went to O'Rourke's?
Well, probably they just drove down the street.
Well, El Paso's very mad at the president because they said that his insinuation that El Paso is a safer city now since they built fencing down there is a lie, because they had been having a lessening of problems in El Paso for almost a couple of years before.
Since 2009.
You know why? They
2009.
did build fence. They built fence at El Paso,
but the fence
and Juarez has a very high crime rate.
But the fence had nothing to do with it, Phil, because the crime rate had been going down even before they built the fence.
2009.
2009.
They were afraid of the fence that was coming.
No, Phil, listen to me. I'm giving you facts here. The mayor, who is, I think, a Republican of El Paso, was complaining about the president insinuating that, because he says it's been a very safe city since what? Since you said since 2009, before there was ever a fence there.
He's a jack Republican. Hey, I have to say, a few days ago, I heard Trump call El Paso a hellhole. I heard it, and no one has reported on it because we're just so used to it. It is not true. He called it a hellhole until lately when they've built a wall there, more wall. I heard him say
so. They have built wall,
but no, he's lying. First, he's calling it a hellhole, and no one even caught it. He just is able to say shit like that now.
You know what?
I mean, that's just
honestly.
It was. Let Kevin tell.
No,
him.
hellhole.
Kevin.
Hellhole.
You know what? Honestly, I almost threw my coffee cup through the TV last night when I heard this, and this has to do with the abortion thing. He actually said this almost word for word. He described the whole. He talked about Northam over there in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, he said it like this. He said, and now they got this problem in Northam, and they said that the guy was going to do his little moon dance, but his wife told him, no, he shouldn't do that. And that was a good idea. But the guy is deciding now, these Democrats are deciding that they're going to let the babies come to term. They're going to pull them out of the mother. They're going to wrap them in a little blanket, and then they're going to talk to the mother, and they're going to talk to the father, and then they're going to execute the baby. And I almost threw my coffee cup at the fucking TV. That's fucking murder.
Yeah.
And he's preaching this shit at the rally.
Well, at the rally yesterday, what was it he said about?
That's what they want to hear.
That's bullshit. I saw the interview. First of all, he is a doctor. He's a medical doctor. And he was talking in a way that a doctor, he said, a discussion would be had with the parents. He never said, oh, we're going to kill the baby. He never said any of that shit.
He said they will execute the baby.
No, I know, but this guy never said that. I saw the interview and I heard it. And
wasn't
he did
the
not
law,
say that.
Wasn't the law that they wanted that they could
abort
that they could abort up until conception?
Trump said
they'll save the
cut the cord. They'll wrap the baby in a blanket, and they'll execute the baby after they talk to the parents.
That's not what the guy said.
That's just bullshit.
That's not what the guy. That's not. Mitt Trump is.
And he
totally
said this at a rally, and they all went,
misconstruing the whole thing.
And he got the reaction.
They believe any shit he throws at them. That's the horrible part of that.
Blew me away.
Wait a minute. Trump isn't the one that was in blackface.
So straight up.
Wait a minute. Let's not get into whataboutisms, Phil. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
What they're doing is they're using this to cover up this infanticide thing.
Hear me out for a second.
That they got in New York.
Wait, listen to Kevin.
You guys have always talked about how this guy is starting to resemble Hitler. 6 months ago, you guys talked about this, but I have not ever bought that into that. But it's really starting to look that way.
Hey, I swear to God, if he doesn't win the 2020 election, I guarantee you he will try to figure a way out not to leave that White House.
He's priming it now.
I know.
He's been priming it for 3 months. He's priming it hard now.
That's what Hillary Clinton said.
The day after he was inaugurated, he filed for 2020.
There you go.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to do this, and he's been doing it ever since. And he's working it hard now. And
just think how brilliant.
That's exactly what that some bitch over in Germany did.
Kevin, just think how brilliant that is. If he didn't file for 2020, then he would have been a lame duck from day one.
Sure, it's brilliant, but look what he's doing to you people, or doing to the people. I'm not pointing it at you, Phil. Believe me, it's an evangelistic type brainwashing thing that he's doing to people, and you can see it in the people standing behind him at these rallies. They're standing there going, "Yes, sir.
Kevin,
yes."
What Cuomo in New York and Northam in Virginia said about late-term abortions is okay with you?
What he said about it?
Yeah, well, I guess New York State and Virginia both are allowing.
Say what Trump said.
No, I'm asking you about
wait a minute. Josh looks a little apoplectic at this discussion. Do you have any? Do you want to get in on this, Josh?
Well, I'm okay for the moment. I'm just listening. I'm.
It's not. That wasn't the point that I was trying to make. It's the crap that he's spewing out his pie hole.
Well, it's the total lies. It's the lies. Like there was something. Wasn't there something about the Democrats? The Democrats are going to want you to get rid of your cows. Was that? Did I hear him right?
Ocasio wants that. She says no more cows, no more methane.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. According to Trump, she did, but she didn't. Okay. He was against the Green Initiative or the Green Deal, as it's called.
New Green Deal.
Yeah, and he says that means you're going to have to get rid of your cows. What?
Things are getting blown out of proportion, and he's feeding that.
And they all believe it because they're morons.
That's right. Well, I hate to call them morons, but they're falling into the trap.
Well,
it is like what happened in Germany. It really is.
Well, it's
Green Deal. This is from Beef Magazine. Green Deal proposes eliminating farting cows because they don't want the methane.
Well, actually, cows do cause most of the methane gas problem.
Put a bag on their ass, and we can manufacture that.
They do, actually. I mean, it's a fact.
Actually, we do use them. We do use them.
Capture methane everywhere we could.
I mean, we do need to have less cows, or we need to figure out how to manage the methane that's getting put into the atmosphere.
I had a proposal a few years ago.
No more railroads.
Are you listening? Can I say something here? I made a proposal a few years ago that methane is a form of fuel, and that it is the product of the best version of it is cow shit. It's rich in methane, but human waste is rich in methane as well. And what we should do is we should recycle it as methane, and therefore the more people you have around, the more methane you've got. Yes,
the company
Kevin.
I used to work for is made money off that. They capture the methane coming off of sewage plants, and they capture it and they put it into cars.
Because my question is, wait a minute. Look, my question is, and this is, I think, a good question, and that is, when we shit and it goes down the toilet, where does it go? Where do they flush it? Where does it? Where is it? Because it's got to be
treatment plant.
80
goes to the treatment plant.
Okay, so when it goes to the treatment plant, what happens to it after it's been treated?
It gets processed, and the methane goes up into the air. But it does get get scrubbed.
Well, let's not put the methane in the air. Let's recycle it back into the city and help. The more people who shit, the more power we have.
The company I used to work for did, and that's what I was proposing to them to do in my area down here, because we have a sewage plant right along one of the highways, and I said, put one of your methane reformers right alongside that highway, and you can have a gas station right there.
Yes, folks, we are talking about powering cities by shit. Okay,
by shit, that's right.
And there's so much cow shit.
Plenty of it.
Oh, we got shit in San Francisco on the sidewalks. We don't need cows.
Absolutely.
It's not good for the Atkins diet, but freshman senator says, quote,
what freshman senator?
Ocasio.
He's not a senator.
Senator, congressman, freshman senator. Huh? Yeah, there's an error here.
Yeah.
You're right.
What do you mean? There's an error there?
Beefmagazine.com.
Oh, Beef Magazine. That's not biased.
Yeah.
No, and so it says freshman senator. We know she's a congresswoman. Quote: we set a goal to get
Wait a minute. I'm going to start listening to a report from a magazine, number one, called Beef Magazine, but number two,
where's the beef?
Number two, that doesn't know that. Do they name Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez by name?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Last week, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat in New York, and Senator Ed Markey, Democrat Massachusetts, released the details of the Green New Deal, which promises to eliminate all U.S. carbon emissions while remaking the U.S. economy. And getting down to this quote, says, we set a goal to net zero rather than zero emissions in 10 years because we aren't sure we'll be able to fully get rid of farting cows and airplanes that fast.
Right.
So, end quote.
Right. So, and, I think we should go to work on non-farting cows.
Yeah.
Serve them all
give
Beano.
Give them Beano. What is that
and
stuff
I would say that it sounds to me
Beano
like
in their grain.
That statement was not saying let's do away with cows. It just said that we can't do anything about that.
We can't do it that quickly.
Well, yeah.
It says Alex is still on the Atkins diet. We need the beef.
Why don't they just stick a catalytic converter on the cow's ass?
They get too hot and
Vernon has his hand up. Vernon.
What about farting old people?
Never trust a fart.
Well, yeah, farting.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Well, I mean, if we're going to kill anything that farts, then I guess I'm a goner. I mean, the only pleasure I have in life anymore is that morning fart.
That's right.
I've already farted 5 times since you started talking about it.
Guys,
fart is the happiness of life.
Yeah. Well, I guess as you get older, you fart more.
Yep.
I think.
Fun.
Well, it depends on what you eat.
Yeah.
You can do it in stores.
You got to stay regular.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I don't eat spicy stuff anymore, and I think I'm going from coffee to tea, and then pretty soon it'll be hot water with lemon. I mean, I'm getting, like pretty old.
Yeah, you sure are, because I ain't giving up my steaks.
I remember, the days when I knew these old people and they drank hot water with lemon, and I said, why do they do that?
Hey, listen,
now I know.
I got to tell you, in China, before a meal, they eat they drink hot water.
Helps with the digestion.
Helps with the digestion. They do not drink anything with ice.
Wow.
You have to ask for ice in order to get, if you're.
My father was a soda jerk when he was a kid, and he said he didn't ever get ice in his cold drinks. And I said, why? He says, because every time you ask you want ice, the guy behind the counter would go like this, cross his nose, and then reach in, grab the ice, and put it in the glass. And so he wouldn't order ice in his drinks because he said that it was like, this is what everybody does when they go to get ice.
Well, I mean, they don't like ice. In fact, I went into a couple of 7-Elevens in Beijing. No Slurpees.
No Slurpees?
No Slurpees at all.
And,
no.
And if you think about it, if y'all think about it, you probably have never seen or heard a Chinese guy fart. I haven't.
Well,
honestly.
Oh yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was like really bad. That
I had to think about it for a second, but yeah, the old ones in the stores.
Oh, that's right. They just fart at will.
The bag ladies,
Maybe Albert
they don't care either.
Maybe Albert is right about our conversations here.
Yeah, it's like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember when the windows used to open on the subway trains in New York?
Yes.
And it was hot, and people would blow their nose out the window.
Yeah, big old rocket snuts.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I remember when. You know what they used to have in the subways that they don't have anymore?
Tokens.
No. Well, besides that. And I wonder why they stopped it, because really, on a really hot day, you could use them. There are no ceiling fans in the subways anymore. And they used to be No, they don't.
They don't?
No, the only station in the city that has air conditioning is the one under Grand Central Station, and the reason it does is because they air condition Grand Central Station, so they pump some of that cold air down there. But any other station, no. And they used to have ceiling fans, and they don't anymore. And ceiling fans would, part of the problem, the reason it gets so hot in the subway, is you get on a car, and of course it's cool because it's got air conditioning. What is the product of air conditioning? Hot air.
Toss out.
It's hot air. So that the reason the stations are doubly hot during the summer is because of the hot air being pushed out by the air conditioning in the cars.
So the cars do have air now.
Oh, they all have air. Yes.
Well, they didn't when I was a kid. They didn't have air conditioning.
But I always thought it was the rat fart, the rats farting in the subways down there that made it so hot.
Well, they have a pretty good diet.
Methane source.
Well, I don't give a rat's fart. Yeah. Anyway.
One time I was in the subway in New York, and this guy had coins, and he says to his girlfriend, "Watch this." And the door was about to close, and there was a rat about this big running with a sandwich. And he threw a nickel at the rat, and I hit the rat right in the head. And rats boom, the sandwich went flying. It was the funniest thing I ever seen.
Oh, by the way, a couple little items news-wise that you may have missed. I was really surprised to hear that they found El Chapo guilty. How about you?
Yeah,
really?
Counts.
Huh?
Yeah, he came across the border.
Yeah.
We had a wall. We never would have
made it. Yeah.
No, you never would have been able to get that shit over.
That guy killed hundreds and thousands of
He buried people alive himself.
Yeah.
That guy.
He was one real piece of work.
He still is.
I hear the wall on the other side of the wall. They used to find all these bodies, decapitated, things like that.
Yeah. But that El Chapo got found guilty. Wow, I was amazed at that. I thought he was going to skate.
You know what El Chapo means? Shorty.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He's only 5'5" or something like that.
What did they find him guilty of? Parking on the other side of the wall, or
something like that, Phil? Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Here's something that pissed me off. By the way, this weekend I watched my favorite award show, the BAFTAs, which go on in England. And
I thought those were in Iraq.
No.
What?
The BAFTA party. The BAFTA party. That was
BAFTA party.
It was. That was the party of.
How do you get from BAFTA to Bath party? Will you tell me that?
It isn't BAFTA. It's BAFTA.
It's BAFTA.
BAFTA.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you know what one? It just completely dominated the evening and winning awards. Roma. Won about 5 or 6 awards. Yeah. The one was made in Mexico.
Oh, Trump would hate that.
The Trump would hate that. Yeah, exactly.
The subtitles were done in the United States.
Really?
How do you know?
I don't know.
But now we have the Motion Picture Academy scrambling to find ways to pare time from the perennial overlong Oscars ceremony. So they revealed that 4 trophies will be handed out during commercial breaks.
Yeah.
The spokesperson for the Academy said Monday the awards for cinematography, film editing, makeup, and hairstyling, and live-action short will be presented off-air. Boy, that really makes these people feel like shit. I mean, how much time is that going to shave off the show? What they should do is watch the BAFTAs, because at the BAFTAs, all the awards they're giving away, they don't tell little jokes and shit like that. They just get right to it, and then the people come up and they grab their award, they talk for about 30 seconds, say thank you very much, and they move on.
Well, that would make too much sense.
That would make too much sense. But then these people, I mean, it's like you're saying, well, you know, what do people care about film editing and cinematography and makeup and hairstyling and live action shorts? Well, I do, you know. So anyway, that's what they're going to do. And the plan to move some of the awards to commercial breaks was announced back in August as part of the Academy's vow to keep the ceremony running time to 3 hours. Actually, I think the trouble is the Oscars is slowly but surely wending their way into irrelevancy, you know. So anyway,
you know, when you and I would go to the movies, you'd always watch the credits.
Yes.
I used to get up and the credits, and I'd leave, and you'd say, no, I want to see this, and then Susan would say, I like to see who the best boy grip was.
Well, no, but I'll tell you, here's the reason why I always watch the credits, especially if it's a movie I like. It's because it's my way, it's my form of applause. It's me saying, hey, you guys did a great job here, and I want to see everybody that had anything to do with it, even though it's going by too fast for me to read all the names.
And of course, the people that are stepping over your legs trying to get out, while you're...
Well, fuck them. Fuck them.
It's a matter of respect. I always stay to the absolute end.
Do you really? And you know what they started doing, of course, in a lot of films, is started putting an extra scene in after the credits are over with.
Yeah,
exactly. I wait for that too.
Yeah, and Marvel was doing that.
There was a movie that did that years ago, and it was like that extra scene, and nobody had ever done that before. It was kind of new.
Now, to speed things up at the BAFTAs, they didn't give the awards away, certain awards away, in the main body of the show, but they did it before the show started. Okay, and then at the end of the show, they say, previously in the evening, the following awards were given away, and they show people getting them, announcing them, and them coming up and making a short speech, and just a medley of those. Now, I thought that was good.
At the Oscars once.
Yeah,
they did that a long time ago.
Yeah,
like
I
remember that.
Now, it would be nice if they did at this thing earlier in the evening. These awards were given away, and then just show a quick moment of the acceptance speech and the announcing of the winner. But they're not doing that. And
I was just looking. Saddam Hussein's party is the Ba'athist Party.
The Ba'ath Party.
B-A.
Well, they were the Ba'athists.
I-S-T.
That was their name as individuals. They were Ba'athists, but the party was the Ba'ath Party.
Because they like to bathe together.
Not telling me anything I didn't know, Phil.
House.
Hey,
did I tell you I'm taking Friday off? It's going to be a Bennett free Friday.
Yeah, someone's cooking you dinner.
Yeah, somebody's cooking me dinner.
Meals on Wheels.
No,
do a show Cooking with Bennett.
Yeah, they're coming over.
Oh my God, that would be.
They're going to cook dinner here. We don't have to do anything. We just have to.
Let
put
us
a
watch
camera
you
in the
cook
corner.
Dinner. Yeah, let us watch
camera
you
in the
cook
corner.
dinner.
Cooking with Bennett.
Well,
just
I mean,
record
by the time dinner is over with, the show will have not started yet. The only reason I'm not doing a show is that I feel after a little. I'd like to not have to feel the pressure, of doing a show that night.
That way you can just sit around and fart.
Got a point. Got a point.
How would that be different than any other day?
Well, it's creating global warming. You know.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, here's a little item for you. Les Moonves, remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He is now running a new company called Moonrise Unlimited. And it reports the company is operating out of a 10th floor suite on Sunset Boulevard. Guess who's paying for the office space?
CBS?
Yep. It was in his contract that even if he was fired for reasons, that up to a year they would pay for rent on offices for him. So,
wow.
They're now taking care of that.
Nice.
By the way,
you have this good a contract at Gabnet?
I have that kind of contract here at Gabnet, yeah. And Empire actor Jussie Smollett, who said he was a victim of racial and homophobic attack on January 29th in Chicago, finally provided his phone records to the Chicago Police Department Monday morning. The move came after it was reported that some of Smollett's neighbors were expressing doubt about the accuracy of Smollett's account of the alleged attack. During the investigation, authorities have brought up Smollett's failure to turn over data from his cell phone that might verify he was on the phone with his music manager, Brandon Moore, at the time of the attack. So the police have some doubts about this whole thing, you know.
You had doubts about it originally, I remember.
Well, it just sounded, all the things weren't in place, you know. I mean, he was in a place where no security cameras were. And then all of a sudden he comes out the other end of it with a noose around his neck. I mean,
he leaves it on until he gets home.
Yeah. And it was like
somebody put a noose around my neck. I think that thing would be off as quick as possible.
Yeah.
You know? Take a picture of the noose, then take the noose off.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what the story is with that, and I'd like to think. Well, I'd hate to think that he was accosted, but if he was, I'd hate to think that he's not telling the truth, and that he gets his just due out of all of this, which is not particularly the case. So.
Maybe he's exaggerating.
Listen, you're writing, Ray, on the comments here that we have. We do have a what do we call it? A chat room on the.
What did I write?
Well, it says here you wrote, "I have to find an older version."
Oh, right.
Friggin'
right.
Skype is forcing me to update.
Oh, yeah, I did that like an hour ago.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, nobody's written anything since, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just frustrated because I couldn't get on without updating to the newer Skype, and I wasn't going to do that. So yeah. I was just sitting here trying to find one that worked.
Yeah. Well,
all I see is calls started and ended. I don't see any chat.
You have to hit the arrow.
Arrow?
On the YouTube page, you can see the channel.
Oh, I was looking at
on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, there's let's see here. Here's
Live
the new
stream,
Tawana
whatever
Brawley
you
or
call it.
Morton Downey. Are you saying that? Forbin Colossus? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I can't tell where these things start and begin. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, otherwise, I mean, it was just another day in Washington, D.C. Anything, Josh, that's been hitting you about what's been going on with the news at all? Or?
I can't think of anything in particular. I was up last night when Trump was talking in El Paso, too, and I just quickly changed the channel. I really can't listen to him usually. I mean, I find it difficult.
Mm-hmm. What do you find particularly difficult? Just his lying, or?
I mean, obviously that, but I mean, Trump's just he's just not. I hate to say it because he's just not presidential. I mean, he's not a professional. I mean, he's just got this amateurish rambling style, and it's just like, I don't know if you went into. Like get a job or something like that, and you just rambled on the way he does and just jab. I mean, you wouldn't get the job,
He did get the job.
He got the job. Yeah, you're right about that, Phil.
With 3 million fewer votes than the opponent.
That doesn't matter.
Well, actually, it does.
To who?
To him.
To a lot of people.
To him. It matters to him. It still sticks in his craw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he'd like to think that those are 3 million illegal immigrants who voted for Hillary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
that's what
in
he said.
California and New York.
No.
That means that the whole country gets a president based on 2 states, maybe 3, with Florida.
I
and
think they
Texas.
should get a president based on who gets the most votes.
You think they should get a president on who's got the best hair and who comes across the best on a teleprompter?
Well, that happens too, and he certainly doesn't have the best hair, does he?
No. But it's getting shorter every day. You notice
Trump?
that? Yeah.
Remember when Letterman used to do Trump or Monkey?
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, you remember
Deli.
you remember when what's his name got sued by Trump
Bill Maher,
for Bill Maher for saying he was an orangutan. So Bill Maher, rather than fight the thing, right, decided that he would write I got tape on my sock.
That's the price tag.
No, I've been unraveling gaffer's tape all day from things. Anyway, no, he basically, what he did is, rather than let Trump sue him, decided to apologize because he figured the apology was funnier than anything. And the apology basically amounted to him to saying, no, Trump isn't an orangutan. You know, so I mean, he felt it was better to apologize than because it would get him more laughs and make him look more foolish.
Well,
so.
You know, in today's world, people apologize and they jump on him even more. And, you know, I couldn't, you know, if he called Trump an orangutan or anything like that, Trump's the president of the United States. Isn't that fair game?
I think it's fair game.
Not to him. I mean,
well, not to him, but I don't think the president can
Well, he
sue.
called him. No, wait a minute. He called this was yes, Josh.
I was just going to say the only decent positive that maybe came out of Trump's presidency, in my opinion, is that for years and years, for decades in this country, people have wanted to know who Carly Simon's song "You're So Vain" is about, and voila, we have the fucking answer.
Was it about Trump?
Well, don't you think it's got to be? I mean, does anyone fit that description to a T better than that man right there?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
no.
that is the most petty, childish person that I've ever. I mean, as a grown adult that I think I've ever seen in my life. It's like that's the only person I can think of that would fit the description of that to a T.
Well, a lot of people for years thought it was Mick Jagger because he sang on it. Yes, Vernon.
Oh, weird.
Yes, Vernon.
What about the Beatles song "Fool on a Hill"?
Well, I think that was written for somebody else, but let's attribute it all to this moron who's in the White House. Boy, it's just amazing. It's so disheartening, you know. And he's pretty well ruined this country for the next 20 years or so. You know?
For you,
huh?
And for you and your other socialist buddies, you know.
God. See, that's the thing. It's the divisiveness that, is exemplified.
Well,
by what you said.
one night we're going to have a nice discussion on what's so bad about socialism. Okay, because now they're starting to use socialism like it's a dirty word.
It is,
and,
you know, and it's when the government owns all your shit. And
no, that's not socialism. That's not socialism.
That's communism.
It's communism.
Same thing. You guys.
No, it's not the same thing.
It's just a code
not
word.
The same thing.
Communism.
It's not the same thing.
Oh,
as Trump says, you should go back to school.
Brainwash.
Yeah, boy. Well, I think it's time to play the theme song. Yeah, I think it's time to play music and get the hell out of here. Listen, guys, this has been good. First of all, thanks to Albert for calling tonight, Albert Reynoso. We loved having him call. Phil Meyer, thank you so much for calling tonight, as well as Vernon Nunn and Tony Magno. Sorry to hear about your father, but glad you're here for the therapy. I don't know if it was therapy. Ray Renati, thank you. Charles Wallace, always a pleasure. Josh, every time you say something, it's intelligent. Or as I like to say, intelligent. And of course, Kevin, always a pleasure to have you here. I think all of you should give a big goodbye to everybody. Just wave goodbye, and I'll wave goodbye too, okay? There they go. That's our citizen panel for tonight. All of them just going away. The next show up is The Intersection with Jack Bishop. And I'm making the Skype lines available for him now and for you, so you will call him, okay? I'm Alex Bennett. I'll see you again tomorrow night. I'd say after Damien, but he's not going to be on for the rest of the week. So I'll be on at 10 o'clock Eastern Time right here on GabNet. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.